So I've spent all this time grinding up to 99, and I plan on playing this game a lot over the next coming months slash years. And one thing that's going to be super important is how to get some XP quickly, and also how to level up your glyphs, because actually glyph leveling up takes a ton of time. And searching around today, we've actually had a couple of amazing posts by some people out there, which I will leave in the description down below as we go over them, about how to make this a better experience for everyone. The first thing is, how does XP work? This is extremely important, and although I've talked about it in previous videos, it seems that the community has come to a consensus on how this works. The first thing is, you can see the XP requirement per level. It is extremely low, and it exponentially increases as we go from 60 to 70. You can see here, it slowly starts to increase, and then as soon as you hit 70, it jumps up to a crazy amount, and then it just slowly scales from there. And this is consistent from what I've seen. Okay, so you need way more XP as you go a higher level. And here's all the different XP boosts you can get. Now, keep in mind, this XP boost for elixirs and players are all additive. Now, this is an important thing. This is something that I figured out as we were doing the review build. The world tier only affects enemy monster XP. So you can see here, you get 200% at world tier 4. If you have, let's say, a party and you have the elixir and you have the campfire, let's say, that's a potential 35% increase in XP. It's actually going to be essentially around 235% increased XP from monsters. This is very, very important because it's not multiplicative, it's only additive. So the elixir actually doesn't give you 5% XP. It could potentially be like 1 or 2% additional XP. However, that's still super useful. Not only that, but also the amount of XP you can get from monsters or things that you're doing needs to be 3 or more levels higher. Specifically 3 levels higher is ideal to get the most amount of XP possible out of your kills. You can see here, as you go less levels or as you fight monsters that are lower level than you, you're going to get significantly reduced XP all the way down to basically nothing as you're farming. And this is something that I've also noticed while I'm going through and getting to level 99. The open world monsters you can see here are actually level 95. So I'm 4 levels above, and I've noticed the XP I'm acquiring is just straight up less from what I was acquiring at 95, despite me farming the exact same content. And that is because I went from getting baseline level, right? Because in open world, it basically scales to you. So I was getting the normal XP, and now I'm scaling down as I approach level 99, which means that when you're farming nightmare dungeons, it's really useful to go ahead and farm 3 levels above you. And then anything past that is probably too much time wasted compared to the gain that you're getting. Very, very important, okay? And it also looks like that there are different enemy types. Diablo, Immortal, Diablo 3, a lot of these games had a similar thing where some enemy type was higher XP, as well as elites being higher XP. And of course, you can't be dead. So very, very important graph. I'll leave a link to this in the description down below. But there's also this here, and this is essentially a dungeon tier list, but basically gives you an idea on what dungeons to farm, on how to get the most amount of glyph XP per hour. And this is pretty accurate, and I'd love to do a deep dive into this sooner rather than later. But essentially, the ones at the top are going to be quicker and easier to do compared to the ones at the bottom. And some of these can have some really brutal monster types as well. So it really depends on what affix you're getting, as well as the dungeon monster type, okay? So what I've noticed is, if I were to pull up my consumables here, if I find one that's like 60% less poison damage right here, I'm not doing that one if I'm running a poison immune build, because I'm going to lose 60% of my DPS. Not quite that much DPS, but I'm going to lose a large majority of it. So pay attention to the dungeon type, pay attention to the affixes, and pay attention to all this stuff. And then hopefully this guide here can help you get to the best nightmare dungeons to get as much XP as possible. Keep in mind that this was based on group play, but it'll be relatively similar than solo play. The only exception is you will have a lot more time inside the dungeons. Okay, so Hopefully this is helpful, guys. Helps you explain the XP and all that stuff. Hopefully this will save you hundreds, if not thousands of hours, depending on how much you're going to play in the future. If I had known some of this stuff, I would have already saved about 10, 15 hours in my total grind experience. And if I had actually implemented this stuff, because I was just kind of having fun, just playing around Nightmare Dungeons and doing whatever. But if I had gone and actually paid attention to all this type of stuff, I would have been able to level glyphs faster, as well as get XP faster. So this was helpful. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Like the video if you enjoyed it. And again, I'll be back with more tips, more helpful things for you all to benefit from. See you for the next one.